Welcome to the part of the day that is always a highlight for so many of us, myself included, our short stories. For those of you that are taking part in the Joined Up conference for the first time, our short stories are a chance for you to hear about the great work that is happening in the churches, schools and communities across South Yorkshire and beyond. So, even though we aren't gathered physically together today, our stories aren't live and there is no 30-second countdown. We have, however, been very strict with our editing. We still have some great stories to share with you this morning, so get ready. First up, we're going to hear about an exciting piece of work that happened last year over the Christmas period in some woods in Attercliffe and Darnall.
Hi, I'm Kinder Kelsey. I'm the lead evangelist at the Attercliffe and Darnall Centre of Mission for Church Army, working with the diocese, and this is Gina, the pioneer priest. Our role here in Attercliffe is to create a new Christian community from scratch.
So we're filming today from the woods, which is by our house and is one of the places where we do a walk each week when we're allowed with others and ponder a question about faith or life as we walk around the woods. And so at Christmas we decided we'd use the woods as a space to offer others a chance to walk and ponder. And so we hid angels around the woods, 3-foot angels, asking questions that people could ponder as families or on their own, encouraging people to talk about their feelings at this time, but linking it back to the Christmas story. So there were things like the angels sang of good news. What's your good news? The angels were thankful. What are you thankful for? The angels brought signs of hope. What are you hopeful for? And so people walked around the woods and found the 6 angels that we'd hidden there.
As people looked at the questions, on the bottom right hand corner of every angel was a QR code, and that took them into a video which talked about the whole Christian story, the whole story of God, and also connected them to our community if they wanted to. So rather than just being a one-off, it also connected them to something more.
We had loads of really positive responses. So we're on our regular wood walk. We had bumped into people who were enjoying the questions. We spoke to people who had been talking to others about the angels being hidden in the woods. We'd done the same in the local park as well. And somebody had also put on Facebook how much they'd enjoyed it. So we seemed to have lots of enthusiasm around the angels, and people seemed to embrace it really well. And so we're now thinking about what we can do for Easter. One of the real blessings of it as well was the fact that we had people from our community come and get involved, socially distanced, in decorating and painting the angels. And so we're going to hope to do the same if we're allowed near to Easter and do something similar in the woods and in the park.
Thank you, Kinder and Gina. How special was that? Finding ways to be a community, to connect with other people and to share the most important story of all in the middle of a national pandemic. And I hope that we've all learned some really creative ways that we can do our work over the last 12 months. And just because the time where we can get together is coming up, there is absolutely a place for these activities, so please remember all the hard work that you've done over the last 12 months. Next up, we are going to hear from Ben Jones of Missional Generation based in Leeds, but talking to us today about a fantastic idea that he has developed to build relationships and have faith conversations online through the very popular game of Minecraft.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the founding director of Missional Generation, and I've got a great young man here called Benji, and he is a young person in Leeds, and it's been a joy hanging out with Benji. Benji, just tell us a little bit about yourself for us, matey.
Well, my name's Benji. I do a lot involving like video games and Minecraft and helping young people in Christianity.
And you've got your own YouTube channel, you stream a lot, you're a digital evangelist, and it's a great joy to have Benji share with us how he has worked with us to support young people exploring faith in a digital world called Minecraft. And we're going to be hearing a little bit from Benji about what is Minecraft, what we've been doing. So let's start asking you the questions, Benji. So Benji, first off, for those watching us who may not know what Minecraft is, what is Minecraft?
Well, Minecraft is a game based on creativity and exploration. So it's like you can go explore stuff and make your own builds and just hang out with your friends if you want to.
And you've been doing this for how long? How many years have you been playing Minecraft for, Benji?
6 years.
And we've been working together, haven't we, in different youth groups across Leeds. How have we been creating a space for them to interact with each other in their youth group sessions?
Well, I have coded a Minecraft server for Missional Generation, so everyone could come onto one server and build what they want, and around the topic of Christianity and what we're doing.
And that's right, each session, Benji and I have given young people a task to build something that links to a biblical theme or reflection from something in the Christian calendar, and help them to build it. And we've then got young people to explore and explain how they've built and why they've built it. And then we bring a reflection on the Bible on the back of that. So Benji, Easter's coming up soon. So let's just explore a little bit with the guys watching. What have we been doing to prepare young people to take part in our Easter Minecraft?
Well, we have built the crosses that Jesus and the prisoners were put up on. We've also built the house. We've also built a tomb that you can walk into and have a look around. So that's really good.
And each of those different things, we together, me and you, are going to explore with young people the key points to those three symbols in the story. What happened on the cross? What happened in the upper room? What happened in the tomb? And we're going to be giving young people the chance to explore that in a way that is safe and fun. And each youth group that we meet are going to add to that picture. And Benji has been fantastic in helping those young people to think through all the different things they might need to use to build the crosses, to build the tomb, to build the upper room experience. So Benji, as we finish, our last question for you is what is some of your hopes and dreams for these young people that have been engaging in the Minecraft sessions?
Well, I hope that they get to explore Christianity a lot, find like their relationship with Jesus and just understand how the video game works, and obviously to have fun and get to know each other a bit more.
Brilliant. And we have seen that over the youth groups that we've met, and we are praying for more of this as the church grows confident in using digital innovation to reach a generation. Benji, thank you so much for everything you have put into and will continually put into helping make this a real success, that Minecraft and exploring Jesus is a great calculation of opportunity. Thank you very much, guys, and God bless. And Benji, why don't you just say goodbye to us for us?
Goodbye, guys.
Wow, who knew? Such an innovative and exciting way to work with young people. So thank you, Ben and Benji, for that story. For our third story, sticking with working with young people, we're going to hear from Sean Grant, who is going to share with us his story about how he came to be working with young people who often can get lost in mainstream education due to their behavioural difficulties. So over to you, Sean.
Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You'll be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. Now, what does it mean to take that seriously with those on the edges in our community, in our schools? What I found is that in our youth club, in our schools work, if we do assemblies or whatever, we miss a certain demographic. We miss the kids that are disengaged, the kids that are smoking weed on the corner instead of coming into youth club, the kids that are kicked out of class so they don't go to assemblies, or they turn up late, whatever, we miss those. So how are we engaging with those? Because we were missing those completely from our youth work. So what we did off the back of off the back of our schools work, off the back of our alternative education project, is we started going into our local school and responding to their need for working with kids with behaviour problems. Because schools are so overstretched at the minute, a lot of the time all they can manage is the behaviour, and I know that I work in a school. And our question was, well, how do we deal with the reason for the behaviour? Because what I have learned is that there is always a reason for behaviour. So what we did is we started engaging with the kids' stories. We wrote a course that was all about exploring the young person's story and really allowing them to explore that for themselves. I know for a fact that stuff that is happening in my life affects me now. It affects every decision I make. Trauma I have had in my life affects decisions I make, affects how I respond to a situation. And we need to recognise that the kids that we see as broken, the kids that we see a lot of the time as these behavioural problems, they are ruins. The enemy has stolen something, and it's our opportunity. We have so much capacity as youth workers. It's our opportunity to enable the young people to explore that. So what we did is we offered ourselves to the school and said, look, listen, we'll work on behaviour. We will sort of work with these young people. And we started allowing them to explore what that meant for them, how things that had happened to them affected their anger or affected their responses to certain situations. I want to tell you one story. We had a kid who was quite chaotic. He was on the verge of permanent exclusion. And in our third week, he was absent. So I asked some of the boys, oh, where's he? And they're like, oh, he lit a kid's tie on fire and he did this and he did this. And I was like, oh no. And we felt like we weren't getting anywhere. And we went to a review meeting and we said this to the deputy head. And we sort of said, I don't think we're getting anywhere. He came to youth club the following night and he was like, you know what, you guys, you care about me. I know that I matter to you. And I really want to change. I've never wanted that before. And so we went back to the deputy and we said, can we work with him? Can we keep on with him? Can we engage with him still? And they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure it's going to work. His behaviour changed monumentally. We've got a chance to be that change, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And so I come back to that first verse that I read out. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings.
Thanks, Sean. Such meaningful and purposeful work to be doing in schools with young people, letting them know that they are cared for, that they are valued, and that they are loved. Our final story is from our very own Fiona Walton, however, with her Open the Book hat on. So here we go, Fiona.
Hi, I'm Fiona from Christians in Sheffield Schools. I'm here to tell you about something that's great fun, easy, rewarding, free, sustainable, makes a difference, it's inclusive, accountable, simple, presents the gospel, helps schools, it's educational, creative, can be used in any type of school, requires little preparation or time commitment, it makes connections, it's supported, and teams of people of any age, 18 to 90 plus, can get involved. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? All you need to volunteer is some enthusiasm and a passion to share the Bible stories with primary school children. What's not to love? I'm describing Open the Book. The scheme started in 1999 and is now part of the Bible Society. It offers a 3-year programme of 10-minute dramatised Bible stories based on the Lions Storyteller Bible. There are thousands of volunteers across the country using this scheme, and around 1 million children across the country hear Bible stories every week in school. My first experience of Open the Book was watching the Sheffield Deep Car Group in action in their local primary school. I was totally hooked. The hall was full of children having fun and obviously loving listening to a Bible story. It was the story of Noah. There was an elderly guy off stage doing sound effects with buckets of water. There was a rainbow, simple costumes, children taking part. It was brilliant. Open the Book made me think of that verse in John 1. The word became flesh and blood and moved into the neighbourhood. So I trained as a trainer for Open the Book, brought some duvet covers from charity shops, made them into costumes, collected some props, ran lots of training events, and this year I've done a 6-month paid role with Open the Book at the Bible Society. A few stories. A Y2 child in Crosspool saying, "That's the best assembly I've ever been to." Another child saying to a volunteer who voiced God, "Bye, God." There are stories of children in supermarkets spotting open the book storytellers and saying to their parents, "There's Jesus." Primary school audiences who break into occasional spontaneous applause because they don't know the stories and they are delighted by the ending. Groups who ask for 3 volunteers and every hand goes up. I've seen my dad in his 80s sit under a golden cloth for 10 minutes as the statue of a Nebuchadnezzar story. But perhaps my favourite is the child at Ecclesall Juniors who said to a teacher, "When are the old people in curtains coming again?" There are a number of groups in Sheffield. Some groups go into a single school, others into several schools. Groups have been formed by parents, prayer groups, single or groups of churches. They involve everyone from youth workers to grandparents. At Portercroft, there's a group of young parents who regularly have young babies appear in their sessions, like in the story of Moses, but that's not a requirement. By September, after 18 months of being unable to visit schools in person, there'll be groups who need to reboot, recruit again, and new schools who'd value a regular group taking collective worship for them. There's always room for more. I'd love to see more schools enjoying Open the Book. Lots of ways to get involved, acting. You don't really need to have any experience or been BAFTA nominated. You can narrate the story, make costumes, donate old curtains or duvet covers, construct props, donate props, be a casting director. It might be your only chance to play God. Open the Book like people to come to an initial training session, but after that they're there with ideas, support and advice if you need them. You can book a free, no obligation, fun, relaxed, find out more, taste the session with me if you'd like. Let's open the book for our primary schools.
I'm not sure what to say about that one because Fiona used all the words I could possibly think of in the first 30 seconds of that video. But in all seriousness, Open the Book is a fab resource for children and for families. If you're not familiar with it, get in touch with Fiona, look it up on the internet. It's a ton of fun and very rewarding. So that's it for our stories this afternoon. So inspiring. I think my favourite thing about this part of our programme is that when we hear these stories, it's so clear that we are not just hearing about a person's work or ministry, but about the passion that God has placed on their hearts to work with children, young people, families. It's transformational, it's love, it's the gospel in action, and it's so exciting and so humbling to witness. So I really hope that you've taken something away from at least one of those stories this afternoon, that you've been inspired, that you've made some connections as to how these ideas might work, could work, or support your ministry in your local context.